Semper Fi, devil dog. My fellow Marine, ask this question. What is my purpose for making these videos? Now, I saw his comment last night, and I was already had this as a video I wanted to make. But this morning, I had an epiphany. I developed a new purpose, an additional purpose for why I make these videos. Now, I'm going to show you a video, and you guys have to watch the video with me in order to see what my additional purpose is for making these videos. But first, let's clarify what his statements are. His statement is, what is your purpose? Is it to discredit the God in the Bible, or maybe modern religion, or maybe to put stumbling blocks in front of young, immature, professing believers, destroy their pursuit in loving God, or maybe make a few dollars off videos? Could it be for pride in your knowledge and communication skills? Maybe your past hurt and disappointment and disappointing experiences with modern false religions. Many people are curious. Maybe make a video on all your whys. Well, Leatherneck, after we watch this video together, I will answer every one of your questions.
I was taught from the Bible, those who bless Israel will be blessed, and those who curse Israel will be cursed. And from my perspective, I want to be on the blessing side of things.
Of those who bless the government of Israel?
Those who bless Israel is what it says. It doesn't say the government of, it says the nation of Israel. So that's in the Bible. As a Christian, I believe that.
Where is that?
I can find it to you. I don't have the scripture off the tip of my... You pull out the phone and use the...
It's in Genesis. But so you're quoting a Bible phrase. You don't have context for it and you don't know where in the Bible it is, but that's like your theology? I'm confused. What does that even mean?
Tucker.
I'm a Christian. I want to know what you're talking about.
Okay. Where does my support for Israel come from? Number one, because biblically we're commanded to support Israel. But number two...
Well, hold on. Hold on. You're a senator, and now you're throwing out theology, and I am a Christian, and I am allowed to weigh in on this. We are commanded as Christians to support the government of Israel?
We are commanded to support Israel. And what
does that mean, Israel?
We're told those who bless Israel will be blessed.
But what? Hold on. Define Israel. This is important. Are you kidding? This is majority Christian.
Now, hold on for a second. I'm going to get to the Tucker Carlson video interview with Ted Cruz there. But let me be respectful to my Marine first. So let me tell you a story. Back in 2008, when me and my kid's mother got divorced, my children were very young. They were 10 and 7 and 6. And being of such young age, they weren't fully knowledgeable or could comprehend my stance on theology. Now, seeing as I wasn't going to be in the house with them 24/7 like I was accustomed to, I decided to start making videos in order to provide for them an access to the knowledge that their father has in the event that I pass away before they grew of age, and we could just have conversations throughout the years, as we have had conversations throughout the years and continue to do so. So the videos initially started as a video vault for my children. And all the videos were originally private, just for my children. But then in and around 2015, 16, around that time frame, actually it was 2017. In 2017, a young man who had decided to walk away from the church as an associate pastor was receiving death threats. And I did a couple of videos in support of that young man. And when I did so, I went on his show a few times. And what happened is that I recognized that I wasn't alone out there. You see, when I was growing up in the 70s and 80s, me and one other gentleman were the only two people in our community who did not believe or was struggling or was asking questions. I was mainly just asking questions, looking for correct information because I wanted to justify Christianity. I was well on my way to becoming an apologist. And so at the age of 9, I began asking questions. And what I realized is that there were a lot of people out there just like me who had gone through the same experience of asking questions and being ridiculed by the church, or just simply asking questions and eventually realizing the biblical information cannot be correct. It doesn't stand up to history, nor does it stand up to archaeology. You see, most of the reasons why I was disappointed in the church wasn't because of the people in the church. It was the lack of information, lack of knowledge of the people in the church. No one in the church abused me. No one took advantage of me. No one did any of those things. As a matter of fact, the overwhelming majority of people were downright nice to me and are still nice to me to this day. I don't have a problem with anyone. Yes, some pastors called me a devil and all these sorts of things and wanted my family out of the church. But that was because they couldn't answer the question and I was challenging their intellect. So there were some of those problems, but they never affected me emotionally nor physically. So I don't have what most Christians try to put on people like myself as church hurts. But it was recognizing that there were many more people who could also utilize this information and that we have our own tribe that we vibe with. As you can see, I never go onto anyone else's channel looking and asking questions or making statements, trying to start arguments and telling them that they are ignorant or foolish or trying to correct their information. I let people be. Believe whatever you want to believe. As long as you're doing good, as long as you're a good person, I don't care what you believe. So you will never see me on someone else's page trolling. Now, as far as that Tucker Carlson video. Oh, let me finish on. As far as the monetary aspect of it, that just happens to be a byproduct that came many, many years later. If you knew anything about me, I've owned many businesses and I am in preparation of owning another business right now. So the money off social media is just a byproduct of me doing something that I enjoy doing. Now onto this Tucker Carlson video, because now I have a new why, a new purpose. You see, as I was growing up, our government, although there were emphasis towards religion, national days of prayer, I was irritated by the chaplain that was over my unit when I went to Desert Storm, who said that God was for America and hates the Iraqis. I had problems with statements of that nature, but that was on a localized level. There has never been in American history a time frame when the government seems to be acting more like a theocracy. When people are governing like Ted Cruz from a standpoint of theocracy in a country whose basis is religious freedom. The first Europeans who came here came for religious freedom, running from religious persecution, did not want to be under the rule of the Anglican Church. The Native American people who were here did not practice any Mediterranean religions, forced into it later, but did not practice any Mediterranean religions. The Africans who were forced over here weren't practicing the Mediterranean religion of Christianity. They were practicing their own indigenous religion, and it was forced into Christianity. When America decided to make itself into a country out of revolt, which would go against the Bible, where it says that whatever government was placed over you is the government that you should obey and that God put over you and you should obey them. That revolution that goes against the Bible, when it was said and done in the Constitution of the United States, they explicitly said no theocracy. The Federalist Papers did not even mention God, while the essays that was written against the Constitution mentioned God repeatedly. The Constitution of the Confederacy mentioned God, talked about God, said it's a God-given right to own slaves because it was based off the Bible. You see, my new purpose, my new why, thank you, is to combat Christianity from making America into a theocracy. Because we see what theocracies do, and we see the damage that theocracies have done. It was theocracy that caused the South to fight in order to claim and keep their slavery. It was a theocracy that was creating the Crusades. It was theocracies that created the Arab nation and the control of the Iberian Peninsula. It was theocracies that allowed the Arabs to go and have 1,200 years of a trans-Saharan slave trade. It was theocracy that did manifest destiny. It is through the biblical teachings that people have decided that they have a right in Israel to genocide the Palestinians. And this is why they are now lobbing bombs at Iran, and Iran through Islam is lobbing bombs back. Theocracies are truly the devil's tools, to use the terminology that a religious person would use. This is the devil, Agramenia, and whatever other names you want to give it. So I have a new purpose: to combat theocracy, So y'all have a great day. And always remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is not